Assalamu alaikum, welcome to the channel. Today we are going to start a whole new series concerning web development. So in this first tutorial we are going to see how the web programming works, what is PHP, and how we can use Ajax to improve it, to improve the backend working, and what is database and how to connect it with database. And the ongoing series we are going to cover these parts, inserting data into database. We are going to see it with PHP code as well as along with Ajax, and then we are going to perform all the three proceedings as well: fetching data, deleting data, and verifying, updating data. Then we are going to create a whole new blog site project, and then we later on cover things like session handling, payment gateways. We will set cookies and many more. So stay connected for this series. So let's start. So what is PHP? PHP is a server-side scripting language. It is used for backend development. Like we have HTML pages. Like I'm going to show you. This is an HTML page. This front view has been developed using HTML, but HTML is not a programming language. For example, if I enter any kind of data in this, I can't handle this data using HTML. So here we're going to use programming language. So first of all, if you are a front-end developer, then JavaScript must have came into your mind, and you would have think, why can't we use it JavaScript? So basically, JavaScript is not a web server-side scripting language. It's just a language we use to develop the front-end logic. For example, if you made a calculator and you just made two boxes to add a number, and then you add those numbers, you can add those number, and you will going to get the result on the front-end page. The logic, the code you write for JavaScript is not going to be hidden, while the data we are passing here can be sensitive. It should be hidden. It must be hidden. So that's why we use PHP. It hides our code. When we are going to inspect this, then we are going to have no view of the HTML code. Whereas if I show you actual code, then you are going to be surprised. Well, this is the actual code, and see, I have written the Ajax query here. So this was not included in the part here. So that's why we use PHP, because it hides our code and get us a better security level. So what is the difference between PHP and Ajax? This is a page. I have made this page for the understanding. Here I'm going to enter some entries like now, and in detail I'm going to run dump for now. So if I click submit, then you can see the page has been loaded, and then the data was entered into the database. I have set a database as well. I'm coming to it. I will tell you what is the database. So basic thing was that we got the page refreshed to get this data inserted into the database. Whereas we want to, this was just a little data that we have inserted, consider a large amount of data getting into the form and then going to be registered into the database. Then it will take 2 or 3 seconds to get payload. Sometimes it's get more than 2 or 3 seconds. So in this case, we are going to make this performance a bit fast. So what I'm going to do is I just want this button to be clicked, and the data should be entered without the page being refreshed. So here comes the Ajax. Ajax stands for asynchronous JavaScript and XML. So what this do is this provide an on click functionality. When I'm going to click the submit button, and then on the click, then I'm going to perform some kind of functionalities. So if I show you, I'm going to write COVID-19 again here, and so I have just mixed up things. It doesn't matter. So if I click this, then no page has been loaded, and then the data is also have been submitted. So what this does, that it has the on-click functionality. When I clicked on the submit button, and the on-click event was executed, and the data was the actual data was sent back to the PHP page. but it was sent using Ajax query. And Ajax we can write jQuery as well as JavaScript code but most of developers prefer jQuery because JavaScript code become more complex. And the series we're going to follow, we are also going to write jQuery. So the basic understanding was that when I click this button, the jQuery gets that on-click functionality, and then it performed a functional task over that the data was submitted, and then it sent the data to the PHP page. So the actual communication with the database is done with the PHP, but this Ajax just saved our time and save the page to be being reloaded and just provide us this only click functionalities. So coming back to the thing that what is database? Well, database is like a storage to store whatever things we would like to store. If I refresh this page, we are going to see the entries we have entered from the add article using PHP and article using Ajax. So both of these entries will get added. So what we do is uh, first we have to install the Xampp server. So I'm sorry, I have just gotten into things, but now I'm going to tell you that this is a server. Xampp is a server. You have to install this, and then you have to set these services on Apache as a server, MySQL is a database, and then the network ports we are going to use 8080 is the port on which the our HTTP sites it just run on this port 8080, and in our case our server name is localhost and it's also going to be run on 8080. We can change this port, we can set we can add our own will, but we are not going to do this. For me, I'm going to do with 8080. Then we have the volume mounted. Well, this interface can be different for the window. I'm using Mac, so I have this all. If you don't want to use Xampp, there's also another server which is called PAMP, so you can check out that as well. So coming back to the thing that what is database, and then when you are going to write the when you use this port localhost 8080, then you're going to just write it here, and then you're going to provide that PHP myadmin, and you're going to get the database. And in the similar manner, when you're going to write that localhost 8080, and then you are going to provide the name of the file you have written this in my MacBook. Well, this folder, when I clicked that mount button, this mounted all of the Xampp server file into my Mac file finder, and then I'm going to have these files here. The all of the query you have to write, all of the file you will create will be in that htdocs folder. So here I have different files, add articles using Ajax. So basically, this localhost server will going to look into this folder to execute whatever file we are going to execute. So first of all, you will write localhost 8080, the server side, and then we are going to give the name of any file we are going to execute from this. You can make a folder, and then you can go writing the folder name, then slash, then the file name, whatever you want. So now I will tell you about the database. Database is a place where you can store data, you can retrieve data, you can perform operation like add and delete by using these functionalities provided in the database, and you can also write jQuery for this. So now we are going to learn how to connect our website with our database. So as I told you that PHP is a server-side scripting language, so to connect to our database, we are going to use the PHP. So it is the starting of PHP. So the function which will connect our PHP code with our database is MySQL connect. So it's taken the 4 parameters. First of all, we are going to give the server name, and that will be the local host. So first of all, the server name, then it will get another parameter. Total number of parameter will be 4. So the first one is server name, second one will be the username. So the username and password. The third one is going to be password, and it's going to be empty string. Uh, so this username and password are being provided by our server, Xampp server. Um, so by default it is root and the password is null, and the last one is going to be the name of our database, whatever we have in our. So in my case, I have created a database with name blog, and then I'm going to I had this table article in it. So you can create a new database as well by clicking on this button, and whatever wish you can write the name of that database. So basically the purpose of doing this connection, and then you are going to assign, you are going to pass these all variables first. So first of all, I'm going to pass the server name, then the username, then the password, and then the database. So the purpose, so then we are going to assign it to the variable. So what's going to be the variable, and why we are going to assign it to this variable, why we don't use it, because it just function return a value and we're going to store it in a function. And we can also have multiple database, like so I have this one database created which the name block. I can have multiple database, and I can write the same username, root, and localhost with then what just need to be deleted is the database name, so I can have another variable and perform the same functionality in the same code using this both of the variable if I have two different database. So after this, we are going to check whether our database is created or not. So we can just simply add here connection fail this function die. If this is going to be successful, then it will going to return into this. Or I'm using a keyword here, or if it's failed, then this die will execute. Another way to check it, and I prefer that way as well. So what I'm going to do is if $connect, then continue, and if not connect, then just die. Diamond connection failed, not the end of human life. So this is going, and this was just a simple intro about our web development series. We have learned today about PHP, what is Ajax, and we have learned about database. We have just learned about Xampp. I'm not going to waste any kind of time telling you this, how to install this and download. We are going to do simply go to the site and just write Xampp or RAM server download for Window or MacBook, and you're going to get whatever version you want. The process is very simple. I have told you how to mount data, what is network, these ports, what are services. Apache is the server, which the localist server is Apache. Let's get Apache. When the server is started, it is get us enable to render over this localhost HTTP sites. So I'm hopeful that you're going to follow this series, and I hope you like this as well. So for now, goodbye.